Welcome to the Nerd Party.
Hello everybody, we are back! My name is Charlene Schmidt.
I'm Patrick Schmidt.
And we are here to babble for 5. Today's episode is Soul Hunter. It is episode 2, and it is all about, you guessed it, soul hunters. Why don't we dive in right there with this concept of soul hunters and these people preserving souls? The crux of the story. What did you think about that?
Well, based on my very limited knowledge of sci-fi, remember I'm going through this for the first time, I felt like from the beginning this was going to be an Alien of the Week kind of episode, but this very quickly turned into something different, which was a much more philosophical discussion and much deeper context and understanding of who these folks are, not only who soul hunters are, but who the people are on Babylon 5 who have to deal with this problem. And you get a little bit more insight into who they are, how they operate, and what kind of leaders and followers they are.
Sinclair, in his dealings, you mentioned a couple of times during the episode that you thought, what is he doing going out there being the action hero?
If you're the captain of Babylon 5, you don't go out in a little shuttlecraft to do experiments on a weird ship that's just come in. You don't do that. You just don't do that. And then you also, when your second in command tells you, hey, let's meet with this guy first before you meet with him personally, maybe you do that.
A couple of things. One, that's not the second in command. That's the security chief, just to clarify.
Whatever.
But also, did you notice the exchange of body language when they do have that meeting? Garibaldi steps in front of Sinclair.
Oh, yeah.
And then Sinclair pushes him aside a little bit. Some serious communication going on there. And I'm not saying that you're wrong about Sinclair and this leadership style that he's exuding a little bit. It's definitely something to keep in the back of your mind as to maybe why he's doing that. I'll say that much. Delenn, whom you said, I believe, after the first episode, background character, we're not going to learn anything about her. What do you think now?
I don't know what to think. I don't know that there was any defining moment where I really had any insight into who she was. She's big in her culture, whatever that means. She was a leader in her culture, is a leader in her culture.
Yes.
But I don't know anything more about her. I still don't know how she would react in a crisis situation. I don't know how she would hang together. I don't know what kind of decision maker she is.
Okay, that's fair. But we did see, I guess, a bit of a crisis situation play out where she saw the soul hunter and immediately proceeded to take Garibaldi's weapon and shoot at it. That's quite a reaction.
But that's the only time she's done it in 2 years. Da, 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 da. And you get the sense that, okay, this is a really atypical reaction. Why are we seeing it in episode 2?
I think it's always really hard in sci-fi, and really any brand new show, though. It has to work really hard at figuring out who characters are, and you have such a limited time to do that. Getting started is always a little bit rough. You mentioned earlier you were kind of expecting a little bit of Alien of the Week kind of stuff. This kind of fits that bill, yes? So even though it's only 2 episodes in, what are you thinking about that?
Well, I'm not really thinking about that as much as I am thinking about, okay, how does this shape their world? I understand in getting into a series, there's going to be more of that early on, so you can, build some empathy and that kind of thing. A good story.
Okay.
Gave you things to think about and was entertaining at the same time. I feel like I know this world a little bit better. It's still building.
Oh, absolutely. We've got a long, long way to go. We get introduced to who is going to be, and I'll just tell you, another main player, the Chief Medical Officer, Dr. Stephen Franklin. First impressions?
He's a doctor. He treats things very doctorally, very logical, but also you kind of saw hints of him being maybe a little bit of a weirdo.
How so?
Tell me about that soul hunting machine.
But he was also somewhat skeptical about the whole soul hunter thing.
Well, of course he was. That also shows the sign of a good scientific mind is you're skeptical about it until there's proof otherwise, and he had proof otherwise that there might be something bigger going on here.
I want to bring up Ivanova. She doesn't reveal a whole lot more about her character, but she's involved in this. You're shaking your head. Okay, what are your thoughts? Just tell me.
I think she's got social anxiety. She's somewhere on the autism spectrum.
Interesting.
She doesn't smile. She processes things very literally. She doesn't get emotional, and even when she does get emotional, she's not emotional. I don't think she likes her job, though, because I don't think she likes anything.
Okay, that's an interesting assessment of Ivanova so far. The only thing I will say in response is she's Russian. We have babbled for 5. Time is up really fast on these things. If you like this video and you want us to keep going, please let us know. Hit the comments up, like and subscribe. You know what to do. Do all the cool things. We'll keep the content coming to you, and we're going to continue babbling and babbling on.
Yeah, no spoilers in the comments, please. Thank you.
Please, okay, thanks.